John Fitzgerald Kennedy, born in Brookline, Massachusetts on May 29th, 1917. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, also known as Jack Kennedy by his family, and even more known as JFK by the general public. After touring the European continent during his freshman year of college, JFK became incredibly interested in politics after seeing the effects of fascism in Spain due to Franco's rule in Spain. Hitler's rule in Germany due to Nazism, and Mussolini's Italy. So, what are some policies that were enacted by Kennedy's administration? So, we have the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which was enacted after his assassination. It outlawed and prohibited discrimination in public spaces, such as segregation and Jim Crow. Additionally, we have the self-employed voluntary pensions, which encourage people who were self-employed to set aside 10% or $2,500 of their wages for a pension. And then we have the retirement income credit, which increased the amount of benefits from $1,200 to about $1,500. This credit is supposed to help retired individuals who don't receive government annuities, which are reimbursements from the government in increments. Additionally, the Security Act of 1962, which amended the previously added Social Security Act of 1935, which added groups such as the elderly, blind, and disabled. This increased the financial aid sent out to these groups for from $35 to about $70 per month. Lyndon B. Johnson, born in Central Texas, not too far from Johnson, Texas, on August 27, 1908. Johnson attended Southwest Texas State Teachers College. Johnson felt the effects of rural poverty, and as he assumed leadership positions, he pledged that the U.S. will move towards a rich society and a powerful society, but upward towards a great society as well, leaving oppression as a footnote in history. Johnson wanted his presidency to be defined by ending racial injustice and also ending poverty as a whole. So, what were some policies enacted by the Johnson administration? Well, we have the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which I previously talked about. But we also have the Voting Rights Act, which prohibited voter intimidation of African Americans, which were historically disenfranchised when it came to voting, by physical means or use of literacy tests. And then we have then he also established the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which appointed an African American man named Robert Weaver. The Department of Housing and Urban Development administered equal opportunity housing for all by reinvesting in low income communities. And then we have the Community Action Agency. These were hubs of social change that would target cities meant that were highly impoverished, implementing federal and state policies designed to help to combat conditions of poverty by community involvement, community action agencies. Additionally, gave state, federal, private, and local resources to those who are low income to help them be more self-sufficient in their own right by gaining new trades, skills, knowledge, etc. Additionally, we have the Title VII. We have Title VII, which created the EEOC, or the Employment Opportunity Commissions, which prohibits discrimination in the workplace based upon classifications or identification. This also means that discrimination or when setting wages, firing or hiring or promoting cannot be um, quantified. So, what are the purpose of these programs? Well, Lyndon B. Johnson's mission statement for his presidency was to promote a great American society, a society of which matches the marvels of the man's labor. Johnson and his predecessor, Kennedy, called for the passing of progressive bills and social reform of discriminatory acts via the Title VII and Civil Rights Acts, passing bills in their presidencies that continue to have everlasting impact on the working class and general public. I believe that these bills were incredibly progressive for their time, using inclusive language for the disabled, elderly, and racial minorities to remove discriminatory practice put in place beforehand while establishing beneficial programs for these people for years to come. Do these policies reflect the social work code of ethics? Well, due to the beneficial nature of these policies towards minorities, disabled individuals, impoverished people, and elderly individuals, one would agree that their good intent when writing these um, for the targeted demographics in the preamble of social work, the code of ethics, the primary mission of the social work is described by enhancing the life for all individuals, no matter what their background is, while also meeting their basic needs, henceforth empowering those who are vulnerable to oppression, poverty, discrimination, and fundamental issues. It is to address those issues head on while also creating solutions for those problems. In Title VII and the Civil Rights Act, the presidents used inclusive language to demand the banning of public discrimination, segregation, and Jim Crow, demanding integration once and for all. Additionally, for the community action agencies, the CAAs in turn would supervise agencies providing social services, mental health services, and employment services, and so on. These programs use inclusive language to cater to all people in a beneficial way instead of using exclusionary language in these programs, which reflects the social work mission of being inclusionary to all while addressing pertinent social problems. And these are my works cited. Thank you for your time.